Human friends, welcome to Stellaris. I hope you can hear me, otherwise this is going to be very embarrassing. And I would check and bring you up on... It's a jelly. So at least someone can hear me. Let's go back to... a little metallic. That's not good. Is that better? Excellent. Audio quality improved. And oh yes, this is going to be the game where I am reminded why I constantly had to move this chat panel around. Yeah. Alright, so I've got you in a relatively harmless place. Last time we left, we had just come to the stars. We'd been poking the space around us using the totally not busted warp. Where were we at? Oh, and we found our first neighbor. The Pact of Tambatic Prime. Yeah, a second monitor would be if becoming a Twitch partner would mean getting a free second monitor, I would stream like every night. 'Cause holy shit, I need a second monitor. And another first monitor. 'Cause I'm on a tiny screen. But the Pact of Tambatic Prime, they're willing to form a non-aggression pact with us, and they are receptive to us. But they're also they're a military junta of hegemonic imperialists, and more importantly, they're xenophobes. We're probably gonna get into a scrap with them at some point. Especially as I start touching butts that are much all up in here. Although we found our first space person pretty quick, which is generally mildly concerning. Yes, our flag is the heart symbol. Because we are the United Yildar clans. We have come to the stars to touch everybody's butts. And then, that's gonna be a really cool time. We're gonna just touch butts and have good times. And because we're orcs, we're just naturally fighty. Oh, so this, I'm not sure if this is the thing I highlighted last time. One of the great little world building bits. Oh my. I forgot we're using egalitarian voice. One of the nice little things. So, our government is I can't read it. We are an assembly of clans. Shush here. I don't need you. I just keep you around because I'd feel bad. We are an assembly of clans. The government is a militaristic form of democracy where all free clan warriors can make their voice heard. We have a distinguished admiralty and warrior culture. But so, yeah, one of the nice little side things that, this game does is it, all the stars are pretty colors, which I endorse, but they actually assign each star a star type, and I'm pretty sure under the hood this actually affects the habitability of worlds around them, but, for example, an M-class star The most common stars in the universe, often referred to as red dwarfs. Their low luminosity means they are difficult to observe with the naked eye from afar. Though they typically have an extremely long lifespan, red dwarfs emit almost no UV light, resulting in unfavorable conditions for most forms of life. Which may or may not actually be true, but the science on that is actually evolving. We're a little confused. We poorly understand exobiology, for obvious reasons. But yeah, so you can see like F-type stars, which are stars that if I'm remembering my main sequence stars correctly, this is a star that's like slightly brighter and blue-whiter than the sun. F-type stars are fairly large and often referred to as yellow-white dwarves, although they are often emit significant amounts of UV radiation. Their wide habitability zones have a good chance of supporting life-bearing worlds. What they also don't tell you there is basically the bigger and hotter these stars are, the much shorter lifespans they have. For example, the G-type star. This is the sun. Hello. Hello. Yeah, I just think that's a nice little feature. We got a lot of G-type stars around us. Like a lot. Wow, I'm usually like in the middle of a bunch of like big giant stars. And they even have weirder things like this is probably going to be a pulsar or a magnetar over here. I can't quite tell, but usually that... Yes, praise the sun! It's like a glorious father. Oh, if only I could be so grossly incandescent. Construction ship. What have you not built on? Not a whole hell of a lot, to be perfectly honest. You're building a colony ship, which probably means I was going to colonize Propus 3, which has hazardous weather. Big old sands. That's right, I remember. Big old sandstorms. What are you? You're a desert world. I am a desert creature.
Technology discovered. Construction complete.
Heritage site. Physical reminders of how far we've come, both instill a reverence for past achievements and bolster our ambitions for the future. Yes, orbital hydroponics. Orbital hydroponics, please. And we're 6 months away from power armor. Sweet. I know I mentioned it a bit last time, but this system of getting randomly selected options every time we research a technology, and then selecting from that option and risking not seeing, like, say, space combat doctrines or soil remediation, like, ever again. Or, well, unlikely circumstance, but, you know, risking that possibility that we won't see it for a while, I always thought was a really interesting system. Sometimes it gets a bit annoying around the edges where, like, you're trying to get certain really common technologies early in the game and they just kind of don't show up. But I think that adds, it's kind of adds a lot of replayability to the game, which is nice for a game like this. And more importantly, I think it kind of contributes to this idea that you are exploring the unknown, both literally in all this fog of war space, and figuratively in also literally in this technology space. But like, you don't know what cool, fancy, weirdo sciences are going to appear up here next. Which was always a thing that I thought was nice. The Binder. A new faction. Ah, so a faction system. This is a thing that they added later on. I can't remember which DLC this was added in. But a new faction has recently been gaining traction in the internal political landscape of the United Ildar clans. Led by clan speaker Darmug, they call themselves the Xenotolerance Organization. Their members have been pushing hard for friendly relations with alien species. A disgruntled faction will be a source of trouble, but one that approves of the government's actions could prove useful. Because the clan speaker wants to touch butts, I suggest we touch butts. So
the faction screen gives an overview.
Shh. Whoosh. Shush. So yeah. Yeah. Gotta be seducing. Always. Always seducing. So, it used to be that, it is now that the happiness, overall happiness of a faction, the overall happiness of a faction is very important to us because eventually later on down the road, in fact already right now, a bunch of, not only are some of our leaders associated with the faction, but also many of our pups on our worlds are going to be associated with a faction. And the happiness of the faction overall exerts an upward or downward pressure on how happy our population is. So right now, the Xenotolerance Organization is pretty happy with us, and we can see because we're not purging anybody currently. All refugees are welcome. We don't have diplomacy traditions, but that doesn't really hurt us at all. And we recently made contact with a new empire. So we're doing pretty good for them. Once they get over like 60%, so we're pretty close to that, we'll start gaining more political influence, and that this is something that we use to spend on empire-wide policies and actually being able to get together enough people to colonize a planet. But also, the larger a faction is within your empire, the more, if they're unhappy, you risk a lot of revolts on otherwise perfectly habitable worlds. Because that's habitability is another huge factor in how happy your citizens are. Because if they live on, like, Hate Planet Death Ball, they're gonna be like, yeah, fuck this, fuck all of this, fuck this whole thing. But also, even if they're on, like, a super nice planet and their faction hates you, they're also going to hate the government, and you are likely to risk a revolt or possibly civil war. But I'm sure we won't have to worry about such things, because we are all about touching nice butts. And who could possibly disagree with that? Why do I have these hotkeyed? The Fist of God. This is the cultists and their bases. I remember this. Yeah. The Fist of God. They're not very nice. Organic remains. Yeah, that's gonna be a little while. Oh god. So, jeez, I'm gonna have to look this one up. But this is, I forgot to mention this last time, but this improbable ceramic orbiting the star, it's, god, what was it? I think it's this, it's supposed to be a teapot. The orbiting teapot, that's I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's Russell's teapot. So, it's Bertrand Russell thing. Yeah. Russell's teapot is an analogy formulated by the philosopher Bertrand Russell, 1872 to 1970, to illustrate that the philosophical burden of proof lies upon a person making unfalsifiable claims rather than shifting the burden of disproof to others. Basically, you have to prove that something, if you're making an improbable claim, you have to be able to prove that. We have discovered Russell's teapot. It's probably one of my favorite anomalies in this game. Donog the Apogee. Go, Donog. Do the thing. We're probably going to lose a lot of money right about here. Colonize this planet. Ooh. Right there. Propus Prime. Ultrax Point. Dolugs Spring. Boop. That's what we're going to name it. Science ship. Survey complete. This one. That is just a little bit beyond our radius. Crap. Oh well. Won't be able to go there for a while.
Survey complete.
Where have we not been? Let's stare at a black hole a little bit. Or maybe this guy. I don't know. Where do we go? There's a lot of undiscovered space up in this way direction. Let's go stare at a black hole for a bit and then put off decision making till later. Boop.
Technology discovered.
New technology. Power armor! Ha 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 ha. We now have powered armor orcs. Ooh. 666. They speak to us. It must be done. Proof spaceports is good, but robots. Some of that oily robot lovin'. Let's have robot friends. Because eventually that gets us synthetics, and I think synthetics are nice.
Establishing colony.
Yes. Alright, so let's do the construction shit. Oh, hey, I didn't realize you were here. That's me spacing out a little bit. Let's build some mining stations.
Survey complete.
Yeah, and so here's another thing that's going to change in a couple weeks with the new update, and I kind of like this. So see how when we colonize this planet, our borders all around the Empire grow a bit? Like, for not... and like, so we've just colonized a planet over here, but now soon all, like, this world, like, several whatever light years away, is now in our territory, where it wasn't before. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense when you think about it. Like, arbitrarily, like, deciding it's like, yes, this three-dimensional area of space is mine. I own this. All of it. And it can actually get later on, like, assuming we actually are, wind up in peaceful relationships with this person, our borders may start touching each other, and empires do not like it when your borders are rubbing up against each other. And it could be a real hindrance on neighbors that you want to, like, establish more peaceful relationships with. So yeah. I'm glad they are getting rid of that. Because, it was a thing that I never really thought made a hell of a lot of sense. What was in the system? Like, just, okay. Like, 2 planets. That planet's got, it's got bads. It's got badness. Let's go this way and hope to meet some humies. Yeah, sadly people don't like it when you rub up against them. In space, as in real life. What kind of world is this? Tundra world. Yeah, we're not going to be able to habit that.
Anomaly detected.
A small space station of some kind has been built on a stable orbit around.
Initiating communications.
Research. Initiating communications. Oh no, I don't want star charts. Goodbye. And there's a reason I do that. It's because some anomaly detection is dependent on you never having been to a system before. So automatically getting star charts from them is, while a good way to establish kind of like a more peaceful relations, is something I generally don't go for because I think the anomaly, like finding anomalies, is like the fun part of the game. So, science ship done here. Forgot about you. Let's go to Vega. Let's go over this way. Additional mining stations have been constructed. Cool. We've detected an automated mining base built in close orbit around asteroid 46759. There are large chunks of the hull missing and jagged holes indicated of heavy weapons damage. The station is beyond repair, but salvaging it will provide us valuable minerals. Cool. The birth of space piracy. Naval intelligence has reported several attacks on civilian shipping in our space within the last several months. The perpetrators appear to be deserters and other renegade elements from Kelzaka. These criminals have put together a makeshift space fleet out of the heavily modified civilian hulls and are now calling themselves the Dread Suns. Can we hang out with them? They sound cool. Although crude, their vessels are a clear threat that cannot be ignored. Alert all commands. Deploy the fleet. And so this is an event that you always get. It's like, so every species will start with like kind of an immediate crisis thing that they have to resolve, or like an immediate quest, not an immediate crisis, a quest that they have to resolve eventually. Sometimes that's you're worried about your planet suddenly losing control of your planet's climate. Like your planet's climate's going to spiral into uninhabitability. Or you're dealing with, in our case, a group of religious cultists who have decided to do a war. But no matter what that is, you'll always get a event that involves pirates showing up. And it's usually after you've colonized your first or second planet. And they will usually be slightly more powerful than your fleet. So this is the time I'm going to do this.
And the capital of our
Thank you.
The spaceport tab is
Shush. Ismir class. Let's build a few of them. Just in case.
Colony is
Aha! See, there they are.
station under attack.
Okay. what's our fleet? 251, 162. Let's go.
Construction complete. Survey complete.
Habitable World Survey. Through our survey of habitable worlds, our biologists have collected a vast amount of data on alien life forms. Many of our older theories on development of life have been disproved, and our scientific community has had to build new models from scratch. Our most interesting findings are being displayed at the newly dedicated Museum of Exobiology on Kel'Zaka. The public is enthralled, and many donations have come in to aid the continued search of strange life forms. Our scientific activity by an ancient precursor civilization. Oh, so this is another thing. The precursor civilization that we unlocked last time, the Cybrex, which I've been getting a lot lately, just out of happenstance. There are a bunch of others, but they have this precursor civ thing is a quest that in all the time I have played, I have never finished once. Not one single time. Now, part of that is because I ultaholic this game hardcore and generally mark out before the end of the game, but this is a event that that is really difficult to complete. And in the dev talks over the last couple weeks, when they're showing off Apocalypse, they have basically said, yeah, they fixed that so that basically no matter, like, not no matter what, but you are now overwhelmingly likely to accomplish this precursor civ thing. So, that's good. Tweaks, changes.
Initiating communications.
Someone who wants to talk to us now? Active sensor link. Whoa, slow your roll. Slow your roll there. Active sensor link. No. Thank you. Go away. Jelly, active sensor link. They can see out what our ships see, and we can see what their ships see.
Engaging enemy fleet.
Cybrex invasion. No, because I don't want to discover stuff that they know about systems. And because I might want to punch them later. I haven't decided yet. Like, I'm not... Do I want to punch them? They're a military junta, but they do have elections, so... Let's talk. Alright, well, let's do some talking. A massive ground war took place on Asterope 3 when the Cybrex invaded the planet more than 600,000 years ago. The name of the alien species that fought against them has not survived the passage of time, but they seem to have put up stiff resistance. Broken Cybrex war machines can be found all over the planet, and the debris from their invasion fleet still drifts in orbit. Intriguing.
Long updated.
I don't necessarily want to do a non-aggression pact, but let's see what we can trade for them. And so the trade screen isn't anything particularly fancy. It's basically just an improved Civ style trade tree. Let's see if they're... Oh, they might be willing to do a research agreement with us, which is nice. Confirm. Let's do that. Let us research all sorts of fantastic things related to the touching of butts. And our species motto, which is always be seducing. Perhaps I'm having a turnaround on these warthog people. Maybe, in fact, they are xenophobes not because they are against the touching of butts, but because they are tsunderes. Because for people who hate aliens, they do seem to be, like, wanting to talk to us a lot. Like, God, freaking weird aliens. It's not like we like you or anything. All right, so we'll befriend these alien squishes. Let's see. They are going to start trusting us more, which is good. Let us form a non-aggression pact. Although I still probably won't accept active sensor link, just because, not until I've explored around all their space. Because I actually enjoy the discovery parts of this game. Like, I wish there were more ways you could diplomatically interact with your neighbors. Because active sensor link is real good.
Discovered.
But, uh-oh, we are dangerously low on FUD. Technologies discovered. Deflector screens, you're still being researched. Ooh, physics lab. Brr, 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 brr. Physics lab, yes. Let's do that. Yeah, we desperately need FUD. In fact, I should... this is another thing I like. So it has a limited in-game effect, but if we go into... this is actually a thing we should talk about. So there's a lot of interfaces here, and a lot of depth to this game that I kind of don't want to get into, but, like, one of the... Like, you can have government-wide edicts that have nice little bits of flavor to them and have impact on your society, like, say, information quarantine. You're hiding information from your people and doing all kinds of bad stuff like that. Hang on, let me move you guys to the center here, where you're going to be completely inconvenient, but I will... Actually, yeah, I found a good place for you guys. Alright, so what I like about stuff here is that you can look at... These policies have... They're basically stuff your empire can and cannot do, and they have a huge impact on how you play the game. Like, for example, Purge. Purge pops are unable to work and will ultimately perish, but the process will enrage them, as well as any sympathetic pop. So basically, you can, like, just exterminate whole sections of your civilization. And because we are... And this is where the ethics we chose at the beginning of the game have a huge impact on how we play. So, I can set I could theoretically set this to displacement only, or allowed purges, but I must meet some of these circumstances. For example, all must be false, is not a signatory, does not have Gestalt consciousness, ethic does not have xenophile, does not have fanatic xenophile. So, because we are a fanatic xenophile, we cannot purge populations. So too with slavery. We are not allowed to have slavery because we are not authoritarian or xenophobic. And our refugee policy, this is something we could change. But we could toggle this over to say citizen only. So this is I'll show you what that means in a second, but basically what this means is only species that we can only species we have determined are allowed to become citizens of the United Yildar clans would be able to flee here from another empire, and that's a thing that can happen. It's happened to me a couple times. I can't say it's happened that often, but that's mostly just because I've been near neighbors that have worlds that I can't inhabit, and don't have droids. But the citizen... but what can happen is if two of your neighbors are at war and a planet's been taken, refugees can flee from... Like, Pops can flee from that empire and come to your empire. Which is, I think, a nice little feature. Of course, all refugees are welcome in our great Butt Touch Collective. Core worlds, populations... Yeah. And this is basically, core worlds or any world that you directly control, rather than having, our leader is not, the glorious Chuck Tingle, because he, needs to be devoted to exploring the different ways love is real. And proving love is real for all who kiss. Running the government is too much of a distraction from that important work that he is already doing. By writing his Tinglers. Although I can assure you, the United Yieldar clans are big fans of the work of Dr. Tingle. No. Love is real for all who kiss. This is a buckaroo truth. Initial border status. Indeed. Pounded in the butt by... Pounded in the butt by my love of the cosmos. That is, in fact, what is happening here. Speaking of love, let's blow up some mins. Let's blow up some mins who are part of the Devilman agenda. No, that is... I like the... pirates are actually, like, super not a big deal in this iteration of the game. But, that is going to be a definite change in the next 2 weeks. Apparently, like, pirates are going to be a huge threat. Oh, that's right, we've got little plantoid ships. We've got a science ship right nearby. Research projects in that system. Now go back home. Yeah, we got a while before robots are done. Let's play on our planets a little bit. So, what was I showing you? I was showing you guys policies for a reason. So we've got like resettlement allowed. This would basically allow us to keep Pops from moving around. Yeah, Jelly, that's the idea. Like, it's a way to make combat more relevant in the early game and more relevant even for peaceful empires, because pirates are going to be a big problem. And they're making it into a mid-game threat rather than like the end-game crisis. There is theoretically a mid-game threat where if there are enough pirate regions, like if there are enough if there's enough pirate space, which is different. Like, so pirates can spontaneously generate in your empire, and pirates and pirate bases can spontaneously generate in your empire, but they're also going to create alien quote-unquote empires that are just literally like pirate space. This is pirate space. This is controlled by a powerful pirate clan. If enough of them are around in the mid-game, there's a chance that the pirate will unify and then nominate a Great Khan, and the Great Khan will then plow around the galaxy, conquering any empires that don't pay them tribute. Yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff in here about the subtleties of how you choose to run your government. And let's... another one comes up in species. Shush. So here's all the species in our empire. The Yildar. Look at them. They're just nice and green. And Orky. And now, part of the reason you want to see this, and you might want to control some of this stuff, is in-game terms. So we have encountered these 3 species in the universe thus far. We have a default rights.
List allows us to customize them.
This allows what rights a species has in our empire. So, for example, the default rights of a citizen in our empire are full citizenship, decent living standard, full military service, colonization allowed, no population controls, migration controls enabled. I want to change that. You mean the species type? No, generally not. It doesn't usually influence anything beyond looks. Except for machine empires, which are different. They operate very differently. They are basically robot hive minds. No migration controls. Because we want our people to be able to freely move around our empire and touch all kinds of butts. And we're going to set that to default. Also because I'm a hippie and tend to play this like Star Trek. Yeah, and as you see, our default species will have different rights than the default. It'll generally have better rights than the default. But part of the reason you may want to restrict these rights in-game, purely mechanical terms. And this is why I like this, because it gives mechanical motivations for you to do evil things. Like, a reason you may want to enslave a species is because they're very strong. Like, where are these people from, anyway? Where the hell are these? Oh, I certainly haven't heard of them. Are these primitives? Oh, these are primitives of some... Or no. I think this is a, this might be a pre-sentient species. So yeah, this might be a species we later on want to uplift. Or they're primitives of some kind. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so this game will have species that are, like, just pre-sapient in the way that, like, so, a good example is, like, the example is when you get the tech that allows you to uplift pre-sentient species, it's a chimp in a business suit. So, the idea being that it's like you're bringing up a, species to be your intellectual equivalent. Or greater. But, so part of the reason you may want to keep a species as slaves is, for example, these serviles. This species evolved alongside a Oh, I know what this is. This species took, syncretic evolution. Yeah, their empire took syncretic evolution. So this is their servile species. But, like, so, for example, this species, servile, or, they're servile and strong. So this might be a good, if you are playing in a purely mechanical sense, this might be a good species to enslave, because they, you can move them around your empire as needed to work mineral resources that you want. And I like that, not because I choose to play that way, but because it gives a in-game logic for doing evil things. you're not evil simply to twirl a mustache and go, mwah, ha, ha, ma, ha, ma, ha. You will do this game adds explicit encourager. Like, it doesn't make it say a better way to play. Like doing evil things in this game isn't necessarily a better way to play, but there are clear advantages to doing evil things, like enslaving people, or doing things that we would consider to be super not cool, like not letting people move from planet to planet. And then it also, like another example of this is, say, the Tumbator are from Savannah worlds, and the Yildar are from arid worlds. So we generally share world types, so if I want to keep a world just for the colonization of my primary species, I may want to keep the Tumbator, like, I may want to clamp down on the Tumbator's migration privileges to keep them from moving to a world that would be more suitable to them than it would be to my species. And I might want to do that for, like, a lot of benefits up in here. Oh, they're charismatic too. Wow. They are sedentary. Oh, and another thing I want to show you in there. So if we go to set rights, you can actually set living standards. So we can basically set a species to, like, either we can starve them to death, which is fucked up. We can only give them basic subsistence food. We can force them to live in impoverished conditions, or we can give them, like, a normal standard of living. We can provide social welfare, or if we are an egalitarian empire, we can grant them, we can go all Star Trekky and have utopian living standards. I don't know why we can't use academic... we're not materialists. And if you're a materialist, you can basically give better standards of living to the... Or you can do this. A great deal of resources are spent to ensure that this species is well educated and has ample free time to consider new ideas and philosophies. So there you go. I think we're going to bump up to social welfare once we have more food. And a reason to, like, toggle these around is because they affect your overall happiness. So if you want your pops to be more happy, increase the quality of living they have. Or if you have pretty happy pops and you're desperately short of resources, for example, we're losing 6.24 minerals a month to consumer goods because we have a decent standard of living. If I wanted to, like, if we were in a desperate war situation, I can ratchet it down to impoverished standard of living for 10 years and have more mineral generation for the war. And I like that all of these things are that there's so many of them, because I like games that are slightly, spreadsheety. But also, I like how that it's not just unnecessary stats for unnecessary stats' sake. It describes the society as it is. And it describes, like, this is what our society is like. This is what this is the society you have chosen to build for. And now that can mean both good and bad things, and that because there are often valid in-game reasons to create non-ideal societies, that I think is a really interesting expression of how societies can end up in non-ideal places. Or more than that, it's just like it. I think that allows for a lot of diversity in the empires you can kind of encounter, and a lot of diversity in the empire that you can become, and whether that like you can become very evil in this game, like you could turn. Eventually, we could lose our xenophilic quality and, like, turn on all these slavery things and purges and become awful and terrible. But what I like about this is that the process in and of itself is interesting, of how you become of how you become the empire you are at the end, and what decisions you took, and what opportunities you had, or what struggles you had to deal with that shaped you into the empire that you are, that shaped your people into the people that they are. And that's why I think like what Paradox does so well that other games, perhaps, whose names are not Civilization, definitely 100% not Civilization is their name. I think this does a better job of telling the story of a people and of a civilization and of a government than, say, Civ games do. And that's what I've always appreciated about Paradox. And I mean, like, they don't always get that right. Like, I'm not particularly, like, I know EU4 is pretty popular, but it's not one of their games that I'm particularly fond of. But I think Stellaris is one of the shining examples of how they've done this well. They understand the genre of, like, kind of sci-fi exploration kind of stuff. And also, they allow you to kind of create this space for expression and... Wait, no, I don't want you to do that. What am I doing? This space for expression and creativity and exploration and understanding how I don't know, I think it fosters an understanding of how not only individuals and people can end up who they are because of where they've been, but also how governments and nations and cultures are shaped by the circumstances that they encounter in the world. Whether that's, like, whether we find, like, great, huge boons among these stars, or we're basically surrounded by enemies, I think that has an effect on the story of us, the space orcs who just want to touch butts.
Survey complete.
And I think that has meaning for how we should, like, how we go about viewing the actual world we do live in. Oh, a tomb world. I really hope this was a tomb world at the beginning of the game. So,
Anomaly detected.
so here's another interesting thing. A tomb world. No, it is not Earth. It is not it is not Holy Terra. But, so, tomb worlds. A rocky world with a nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere. It is currently experiencing a nuclear winter, with dense layers of sooty aerosols in the atmosphere. High levels of surface radiation, minimal signs of life. Tomb worlds are... basically, you can wander the galaxy and find tomb worlds of civilizations that have destroyed themselves before getting to space. One of those one of the events in this game, one of those tomb worlds can be Earth. Like, there is an event chain in this where you can find Tomb World Earth. Although, I think this game, if I understand it correctly, that event is rarer than you meeting a human civilization. Like, human civilizations, I think, show up more often than Tomb World Earth does. A new faction has recently gained traction in the internal political landscape of the United Ildar clans. Led by Admiral Tetran, they call themselves the Glory Initiative. They want us to assert our military dominance over the galaxy. Let's see what this faction wants. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the nuked Earth, they are not happy with us. Why are they not happy? Aggressive diplomacy, subjugation, traditionals. We don't have supremacy traditions. Strong alone. Ick. Imperial hegemony. Well, we'll make you donks happy later. But yeah, I think the nuked Earth event is rarer than just finding subterranean colonization for cave cities. And let's go to Kelzaka and build us some orbital hydroponic farms because we need food bad. Let's missile defense module. Build a spaceport. But yeah, I like that this game tends to take a slightly optimistic outlook on humanity. Slightly. Clear.
Some buildings may cause adjacent.
Autochthonic monument, please. Immense ragged shadows drift across Semenevek 1A's face. They are not cast by clouds, but sheets of organic material drifting through the upper layers of the atmosphere, hinged, or rather jointed, to allow small degrees of articulation. Science officer Campramar is yet unwilling to say whether these elaborate things are flora or fauna, or what possible purpose, if any, their elaborate shadow casting might serve.
Survey complete.
There's on this treasure, your building. Got a lot of surveying to do. Atlas. Survey. Oh, I forgot to survey this system. Derp. Shows you what I know. Which is nothing. The research station, where? Alien writing. Oh, so this is another one of my favorite. I know we talked about this last time, but I love this event that someone has carved a large body of text into the surface of this world with a mining laser. The ancient alien letters are large enough to be written, to be visible from orbit. I love that this exists just because I think it's a really neat, and that it produces culture society research. That somewhere in your empire is going to be someone reading the text of a, like, aliens, like a story an alien wrote on a planet.
Construction complete.
From a research, like, from orbit on a research station. I think that that's really just cool for a lot of reasons. A, that someone would, like, the idea that artistic, like, the ridiculousness of doing that, like the just insane impracticality of doing that. Like carving a short story into a planet. I like that because it's like, yeah, whoever this alien was, they came from a species, or at least a culture, that was like open to the idea of doing really just silly things. Which is kind of hopeful. It's like a positive outlook on the universe, which is nice. Oh yeah, we've met these people really early. We only have one. Jeez. Do I want to adopt diplomacy right away? No. Let's finish out this and get an ascension perk. Planetary Survey Corps. Arctic worlds. So many worlds.
Construction complete.
Oh, cool. Build another research station. Alright. Alien pets. Alien pets that live on volcanoes. These docile, non-sapient creatures can easily be domesticated, and their friendly demeanor and appealing looks make them popular as pets and companions. Xenophiles value them highly and proudly present them in their zoos. Unfortunately, we will not be able to get the lava puppies until we can tame the active volcano that they live on. So once we've researched cave cities, which is what we're working on right now, I think we will need to, yeah, so for those of you asking if you look at these red bordered tiles on any planet, or any tile that isn't like empty like this one, it's basically, this is an area of the planet that is uninhabitable to our species. For example, on Kel'Zaka, our homeworld, that will include industrial wastelands, sprawling slums, industrial wastelands, sprawling slums. But on other worlds, it'll be stuff like deep sinkholes. A colossal sinkhole covers most of this region. So, and you saw the sprawling slums and industrial wastes. Those are yellow borders. That means we can get rid of them right away. We can engage in a construction project to get rid of those. The deep sinkhole, however, we have no solution for. And one of the main advantages of society research is being able to deal with the circumstances on alien planets. So as soon as we are done with subterranean colonization, I will make our priority volcanoes. Actually, do we finish, or do we go to deep crust engineering right away? Chat, you decide. Space puppies or months and months of wasted research? Alright, we're killing the volcano. Deep crust engineering. And I like so some of these I generally won't take. Not because there's never a good reason not to take these. I'm one of those weirdos who roleplays games like this. But yeah, so you know what we're about to do. Advances in material technology and deep shaft mining techniques allow geoengineering at a previously unthinkable depths and temperatures. Magma hotspots can now be exploited, suppressed, or even relocated. 35 months. In 35 months, we will be able to kill that volcano to collect the puppers.
Colony established.
Thank you, advisor. There's a science ship. Not doing its thing. Ugh, lots of dead planets. Tomb world. What's this? Arctic world. Tundra world. Tropical world. That might be useful later. Alpine and Arctic world. Jeez. We've got a lot of duds near us. Tomb world. Tropical world. Oh, so here's another thing. Eventually we're probably going to eventually, because I have planets set way high up, because of the settings I have right now set for this current game we are playing, planets pop up a lot.
Anomaly detected.
Planets pop up a lot more than usual, because I am good at words. Strong energy emissions of an unknown origin make this asteroid stand out. Alright. But because I have planets up so high, one of the things we're probably going to get to see is we're going to encounter a pre-sapient species, probably, or a pre-space flight or a pre-FTL civilization.
Construction complete.
And that, we will have all kinds of interesting possibilities there. But, remarkable. One of the great things about pre-FTL civilizations is, so you can technologically uplift them, which gets easier the closer they are to FTL, in civilization terms, but there's always a risk for civilizations that are that are atomic, or actually I think it's even in mechanized civs or higher in the civ tree, which is, I believe, after that is atomic and then early space flight. All of those civilizations can nuke themselves to death. They can war themselves to death, and that can happen while you are watching. It has occurred in a game that I was watching.
Discovered.
So you can watch. Lasers. Well, we got a lot of good stuff here. Improved deflector screens, gravitic sensors, fusion power though. A gib. We're gonna have robot friends soon. Construction ship, what are you doing? Let's take advantage of this system, which I hope. Yeah, let's take advantage of this system. Build mining stations, and then let's build another colony ship. So we can colonize this boyo.
Survey complete.
Oh, whoo boy. That's a spicy meatball. This is a spicy meatball. 10 minerals. Madame. Oh, let's go back to this planet and discover this.
Survey complete.
Or actually, no. You stop. No, bad. Go back and survey. Yes, survey that. Definitely no misplays in this game. I don't know what you're talking about. Tundra world. Oh God. All of these planets we can't touch with our butts. This is truly terrible.
Technology discovered.
New technology. Robot friends! We can build robot friends now. Yes. 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 Hurry. And then we can customize our robots soon. Ooh, engineering facility though. Let's research engineering facility first, cause we need that badly. And only 14 months to fusion power and deep crust mining.
Anomaly detected.
A small rectangular object on the surface of the planet is deflecting scanning beam like a mirror. Our sensors are unable to determine what the material composition is. Research!
Construction complete.
Colonize another planet. Colonize another planet. Where am I gonna drop our first city? Not here, unfortunately. Although maybe it'll make up for it. Although... Oh, and there's a subterranean slot over here, so here. Here! We built here! We built here! Indig's Refuge, Bontargi's Citadel, Ultrax Point. Hadriga's Bastion. Bontargi Citadel. Tetlar's Palace. Let's go with that. While conducting scans on the surface of Para 2, Science Officer Jafab and the crew of the ISS Holt the Magnificent discovered what appears to be an artificially carved slab of rock covered in alien writing. They have not detected any other signs of alien activity on the planet, and how exactly this mural came to be here is a mystery. We've prepared a special project to translate the text. Fascinating,
Long
Captain.
updated.
Someone carved... Okay, whatever alien did this is metal as hell. Let me carve a giant tablet on a volcano planet. Yeah, finish surveying and then do that special project.
Survey complete. Establishing colony.
Alright, now you go here. Survey system. Alright, let's be nicer to these little nice boys. Oh, they like us a lot more now. They are receptive to us. You're speaking to the Black of Tumdakor Prime, alien. What does the United Yildar clans want from us? Let's offer a trade. Let's see if we can trade with them for anything to make... We might be able to form a defensive pact soon. Demand food? Yeah, they're not gonna say. I'm not gonna like that. All right, never mind then. Not really anything we immediately want to do business with them on. So we can let that relationship just simmer there for a bit.
Construction complete.
Yeah, there's not much we can do about their butts.
Survey complete.
Research project and system.
Anomaly detected.
One of the small moonlets orbiting this gas giant has been...
Survey complete. Technology discovered.
Ah! Do we have a lot of planets with... Unlock building alien zoo! Ha ha ha! Excellent. Alien zoo, please. That makes use of our alien pet friends. Yeah, let's build some robots. Somewhere. Oh my, we have all kinds of research to do. Not assist research yet. Let's do field modulation. And then let's take a look at our planets before we decide what to do about that. Dr. again, goodbye. Quicksand basin, a little bit. Quicksand, a lot of quicksand basin over here. Surface. Clear this volcano. We are going to make that volcano less horribly rumblous. And alien zoo. Hell yes. A more detailed scan of one of the many natural satellites orbiting the gas giant of Sagathia 3 has revealed a deposit of precious metals and minerals that was overlooked in the initial survey. Although the moon is very small, it has a stable orbit around its primary and appears tectonically stable. Adds +3 energy to that planet. Nice. Oh man, that's a system to get. Hopefully.
Special project complete.
So the tablet. Science officer Jafab has managed to partially translate the alien mural discovered on Kapara 1. The text contains a staggering amount of data, and the mural evidently served as some sort of low-tech library. It describes in broad terms the collective technological knowledge of an alien civilization that dominated this region of the galaxy some 80 million years ago. A lot of it is already known to us, but the data does contain several promising leads for technologies we have yet to consider. There's enough data here to keep our scientists busy for decades, but we'll need an orbital research facility to continue the translation efforts. And then plus... that is a good thing to have nearby.
Cleared.
And a great thing that I want to have in our empire. Last name? Oh. Oh, yeah. Nope, it is... We have yet to discover that planet that shares your name. Neutron Star Survey System. Oh, actually, what are you? M-class star. F-class star. Yeah, well, let's get the further away one and cut back across.
Evading hostiles.
Uh-oh. Encountered some form of aliens in the Rematerra system. These strange objects have been flagged as Epsilon aliens. What are they? Uh-oh, there's... Oh my god, we landed right next to them. Run, 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 retreat. No! God damn it. That's a bad break. Rip. Rip our scientists. They were a good scientist. We need a new one. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna have to teach some... Oh, those aliens are very strong. They're much stronger than us, but we know this planet in particular, they did not want to touch butts, and so we will touch their butts. No, that's too far away. Alright. Unloading station. Well, that was a bad break. On the off chance this still has been unexplored. Alright. So we're gonna have to build... Where's your Jama's treasure? Rurius. No, let's go back to Kel. Science ship. Actually, let's go to our ship designer and see if we've got any new cool fancy science that we can apply to our ships. Yes, we can make our ships much stronger. It's not our science ship, though. Here are pretty little colony ships. And a science ship. Let's do the science. Alright. save. Always be sciencing. Indeed. That's one of the two things we do here in this game. Science and seduce. Science ship. Go. Kills a cause. Surface. What are you doing?
Construction complete.
You need a... Alright. Science ship. Assignment leader.
Lets us hire, dismiss, and assign idle governors, scientists, admirals,
Careful.
and generals.
Let's get Keb. She seems like a good one. This is Keb. Keb. Go to this planet and survey it. Spaceport. Build some more Ismir class corvettes, please. We have some people to beat up who are very naughty to us. Well, yeah, that's the whole point of getting involved in a research agreement. We're going to use our combination of seduction science to understand it even better. It's going to be great. We're going to be space friends. Cordial. Yes, those amoebas. The spoiler alert, those were space amoebas. Those space amoebas were they I mean, to be fair, we just kind of came up in and out of nowhere in their space, but like
Construction complete.
they need to be taught a lesson. Construction ship. What can you construct? Not much. TBH. No. A whole lot of nothing in this system.
Survey.
What time is it,
complete.
by the way? Whew. 9:28. Yeah, we got some time to play with.
Construction complete.
Science ship. I spy with my middle eye. Ooh, a planet to survey. Yeah.
Construction complete. Technology discovered. Survey complete.
They like us. And we got 3 more years of this deal. Sweet, sweet, sweet. They like and trust us. Getting closer. They're like, you're okay, I guess, when you're not being an idiot.
Complete.
Yep. Their tsundere hearts are warming to us. Coil gun 2 seems good. Coil gun 2 so we can DACA more of the space. Speaking of, build more fruit baskets. Missile defense module plus. The big boom guns. Build. Oh, cool. We'll get field modulation soon. And alien pets sooner. Let's go to the surface of your Jama's treasure. Some orcs are coming to hang out with the pets. What technology we discover? Field modulation. Ooh, bunch of good options now. Orbital energy conversion or global energy management. Some good options. Let's go global energy management. That's probably better long term. Solar panels are really good, but the global energy management, that lets us that gives us overload the grid, which later on can be pretty powerful. Like, global energy management lets us get access to the power network, which gives us a plus 10% boost, if I'm not mistaken, to planet-wide energy generation, which can be like way more than the three energy boost from solar panels. T. Also possible that was a misplay, but if I wanted to be good at this game, I wouldn't play it the way I did. Yeah, exactly. These games aren't like if I wanted to play this game like you're right. If this game, like, at least to me, and I know a lot of people do find pleasure in optimizing their empires and stuff like that. But I actually really get way more out of the role play for this, and let the chips fall where they may. Although, it can certainly be said that this game allows room for, like, you can role play and then still, like, play the game well. And I think that's what's good about this game. It's like, there's no, like, okay, there are optimal strategies, but those optimal strategies are more of an accident rather than an intention in design. And are basically at any game of sufficient complexity like this one are going to occur at some point. The best you can hope for are continuous improvement and stuff like that. But yes, research science division. We want to discover new ways to touch butts. But yeah, there is a certain, like, there is room to play, like, role play this game and then play it well at the same time, which is why I like it a lot, which is why I keep playing it, because it's like, you can get better at it and still role play the kind of empires you want to play. And that level of self-expression, I think, is good. Although, let it be noted, there are certain empire builds that are probably easier to play than others. But yeah, I think part of the reason they make the part of the reason the last time we played, a whole half of playing was spent on building out species. I think part of the reason that happens is because they wanted to create a game that had multiple ways you could play, and all of those ways you could play be viable. Although, let it be noted, this game is not, or at least most of the fan base of this game would seem to think that this game is, do I think that there's a significant advantage to playing an evil empire, or is there a decent balance? I do not think there is a significant advantage to playing an evil empire. I do think there's a fair amount of balance to it. To be fair, I haven't played evil empires, generally, or quote-unquote evil empires, because that's not really my jam. I've created a lot of evil empires, but I've never really played them out. I've created I've played a couple of morally ambiguous empires that certainly, yeah, so this game, the way this game kind of balances out, like, there is a lot more direct efficacy to evil empires, like, even if not expressly evil, of things that we would, that our society would consider to be ultimate goods. So, like slavery and purging species is just unambiguously evil. But controlling, controlling the spread of information and preventing your pops from being able to move around, is it evil to build a prosperous, happy empire of pops that can't move around? To which I would probably say yes, but, like, that's a lot less unclear. Or, well, at that point you'd begin to say it's like, well, is evil really a useful term anymore? But, generally, I would say there are more direct advantages to being evil, quote unquote, because you can do things. You can get rid of if a species is inconveniencing you in your empire, you can kill them. If you don't want your pops moving from place to place, you can keep them where they are. If you don't want, there's a lot of things that you can do that non-evil pops really can't. However, being evil that way radically changes how being evil or good radically changes, quotes around evil and good here, but, being more, shall we say, having, following certain, utopian sci-fi, following the utopian sci-fi path, there's a lot of stuff that you can't do. There are going to be a lot of things that you can... There are a lot of soft benefits to being a more quote-unquote utopian society. You'll generally get better research bonuses, and your pops will probably be in aggregate happier, which means you're less exposed to sudden revolts. Evil, this game takes a pretty hardline stance that slavery is evil. By default, no society will come to space having slavery. Except authoritarian and xenophobic civs. They are more, any pop that has slavery or allows any level of purging, an empire can declare war on them with the express goal, if I can go to an empire and say, declare, use as a casus belli, end atrocities as an excuse to go to war. And so if you are an empire that allows purges and slavery, there is a higher probability that someone will declare war on you just because of that. So, like, it's, and they're, yeah, it's are we the baddies situation. We have skulls on our hats. Ah, you're just listening to Yildar clan propaganda. But they didn't get to design our uniforms. Oh. But yeah, watching the streams of this game a lot, and watching Paradox streams a lot in general, and apparently they do have, like, these design pillars of their company, and so, like, they do... There's probably a kind of empire that is easier to play than others, or you could more successfully play in this game. That is not intentional. It is very much Paradox's intention to make a variety of empires playable. For example, there's a thing in the Paradox community right now called the One Planet Challenge, where you try and win the game as an empire that only controls one planet. Actually, I'm sorry, has only colonized one planet, which is your homeworld. You don't ever colonize any other planets. You just, and the whole game you spend trying to vassalize or subjugate other empires around you, so that you will have these that you uplift species and then immediately release them as or no, I don't think uplift works that way. But if you technologically uplift rather than genetically uplift a species, like you technologically uplift a species and have them as your vassal, and don't directly control your planet. They want to make that, like, a viable, all of those options, ways you can viably play and win the game. And for more common stuff like Star Trek shit, or like evil space empire, those more common types, they want to make playable. Like, very playable. Let's investigate these aliens. Wait, how close are we to... We're 2 months away. We can wait till alien pets.
Technology discovered.
But yeah, Corey, you were right earlier to say that a lot of games definitely do prefer to be... Like they imply that evil is better. Although... I think that can be a good thing depending on framing. Oh, so according to let it be noted that at least as far as data goes, that Paradox knows, based on data they harvest from the game, that the majority of people... Oh, wait, am I thinking of... Oh, no, I think I might be thinking of Hoi. Or am I thinking of this game? I might be talking out of my ass. I think that might be Hoi I'm thinking of. Never mind. But I was going to say that the majority of players play on easy, which you can do, and I think still might be true of Stellaris. But I think in this specific case, that was Hoi, because they're planning on releasing Hoi with 2 more difficulty tiers, like one on the bottom and one on the end. So they're very interested in, like, Like, let it be noted, a lot of Paradox players find their games to be difficult, and tend to play these games on easy. So they're pretty universally difficult. No, we don't want to clear that. What do we want to do? Central Command. Terraforming gases might be nice, if for no other reason. But we need planetary unification. We need to get that. Now we can build our petting zoo. No, why not? Oh, we require... Oh. We are out of gold. Upgrade, upgrade. And I know what I'm building here. Power grid when it's available. Physics lab, engineering facility. Oh, it's just warning us that I'll stop running eventually. Well, I don't care. Smoke weed every day. Why can't I build you? Oh, requires planetary administration. So we're... Oh, well, that's gonna work out. So as soon as this Orc Pop, this Yieldar Pop stops building, once they get their fucking done, we're gonna be able to upgrade this the reassembled colony ship that they've all been living in into an actual planetary capital. And then we're going to be able to build the alien petting zoo. Also, we should be, like, taking advantage of some of this. Exploit this landscape. So we're pretty close to alien petting zoo.
We are losing credits at an alarming rate.
Oh, Veer. Don't be such a spoil sport. We're having fun, Veer.
Anomaly detected.
Whoa, a lot of things are happening all at once. A colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with this planet once. Research. Do it. Do it. Fun, do it. Oh, construction ship. Go and... construct on this world for me.
Survey complete.
Just wrecking that planet, smashing into it. The Her black hole. It's right here. A fortuitous event. Oh, I know why our income suddenly dropped. I've got more than 3 planets. So I kind of want to colonize another planet before I start doing this, but it's possible that I will get to show you guys how to make a sector. Oh, there's a bunch of really good shit over here.
Anomaly detected.
Ah, this event. This toxic and lifeless world appears to have once been inhabited by a moderately advanced pre-space civilization. The ruins of their cities are strewn across the surface. Research.
Survey complete.
To her black hole. Oh, guys, I just realized, you know who I should make as a, Empire? Tahiran shot. Tahiran shot. Nuclear devastation. Our survey as Zempec 2 has revealed that it used to be a pristine continental planet with a mild climate as little as 1,000 years ago. In stark contrast, the atmosphere today is extremely toxic, the surface highly irradiated, and the world has long since lost the ability to support life. We have detected signs that the planet was the scene of an incredibly destructive thermonuclear war waged between factions of a relatively advanced indigenous pre-space civilization. What a waste.
Construction complete.
So close.
Construction complete.
So close. I really hope we do meet humies in this game. I like meeting humies and touching their butts.
Survey complete.
So, upgrade this building. Oh, they are hella mad at me. Why are they hella mad at me? These are the humies in the Glory Initiative. Crap. They're all kinds of hella mad at me. Well, here's what we're gonna do. How about we do bread. Bread and circuses. Set default rates. Social welfare. Yes. Bread. Bread and circuses. Yes. It really does. See, like, people say, like, oh, well, you can distract the people with bread and circuses, or you can keep people quiet with bread and circuses. It's like, you really, like, I don't think people underappreciate, you know, like,
Anomaly detected.
how many political problems can be solved by giving people something to eat. It's like, you realize the reason people don't care at that point when you're giving them bread is because it's like, oh, I get to eat today. Yeah, no shit, they're gonna be less, like, politically restive when they have food. I mean, there is one line of argument that, as long as the populace is content, then the government is serving its function. Though perhaps that, I would argue that that line of argument only goes so far, but, you know, there is something to be said for a government that is keeping its people happy, is doing something right. We briefly detected some unusual energy readings emanating from this moon. It might have been a glitch in our systems, or it could have been a sign of something more. Research. This is another system to get. Man, I really hope there's a planet we can colonize around this shit. Research agreement. Oh, this is timed out. We gotta renew that research agreement. Offer a trade deal. Research agreement. Ugh. Oh. Confirm. Oh, it reversed the magnetic field. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's more to government than just keeping your population happy, but, like, and I would argue that, like, you know, if you are, there are certain ethical and social freedoms, including an ability to voice oneself and one's government, that a government should fulfill. But if the populace, by and large, is happy, that is certainly, like, a mark of functioning government at a certain level. Ow. Yeah, like, not to, like, to avoid passing moral judgments. Not necessarily because those are unwarranted, but, like, you know, one of the reasons we have government is for the distribution of resources in agrarian societies, so. It's one of those things that it's hard to figure out why we created governments, but it's like, obviously we have found some benefit in doing so. Otherwise, we wouldn't have kept doing it. And I mean, some people argue it's like, oh, well, people in power use their strength to enforce government on the people, and I'm like, but that's not really true, because, like, we've kept doing it, and, like, governments come and governments go, as do civilizations, but we keep coming back to the whole, oh my, we keep coming back to the whole experiment of, like, centralized governments, or at least moderately centralized governments in agrarian civilizations. There's obviously something to it. Not to say that those are necessarily good things, but, you know, hey. To each their own. Oh my god, that was a very bad outcome. Unwanted. Very not good. Unwanted outcome.
Complete.
Shoot. That was a very not good outcome for us. Well, you say potato, I say I'm building a frontier outpost here, so you can't scoop me on some other shit that I probably wanted.
Technology discovered.
Let's do... Ooh, not soil remediation yet. Let's do galactic ambitions. No, we can do galactic ambitions to push them away, and I mean, maybe we got some bad beats, but we could still salvage this relationship. And it looks like they got a couple duds. Like a couple duffer planets. Although they did just damage our relationship by adding... Like, see, this is one of those things that I mean, where, like, we were establishing healthy relationships, and this actually pushed us backwards, because we now have border tension that we didn't before. Actually, I want to save Scum a little bit to see if we could get a defensive pact before... Try back here. But yeah, this is one of those things where it's like that wouldn't be in the new model. That kind of thing is not gonna happen. Where suddenly they they frontier outpost somewhere near you, and suddenly you've completely sabotaged relationships with them just by like touching butts. Oh well, hang on. Scum harder! Yeah, let's scum harder. And see... 76... Damn, you guys are really tsundere. Let's just see what we're losing in this system. No. So I think I know what's in that system. Let's move here. Trade deal, research. Oh, we got hit by a mass driver. This is one of my favorites. There is no friction in space. While approaching, well, I think there... by and large, there is no friction in space. While approaching Izada 2A, the ISS Holt the Magnificent suddenly received a glancing hit by several passing mass driver rounds. The projectiles were billions of years old, and based on their trajectory, they appeared to be stray rounds fired from a neighboring galaxy. After missing their intended target, they continued on their journey for untold millennia until today. The rounds we have recovered are of an advanced design despite their incredible age. Oh yeah, they have a lot of trash references here in this game.
Survey complete. Technology discovered.
Yeah, so they're building here. Shit, is there anything we can do to get them to be our friends more? Just like a little more before they fuck us over? I want to get that defensive pact. We're so close to that defensive pact. For trade deal, like, give me something here. Information. Star shards. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much we can do about that. Oh well. Yeah, there it goes. And we're gonna have to induce more border friction. This is gonna suck. Oh well. At least we didn't lose any, like, colonizable planets or anything.
Construction complete.
Governor Yundan has reached the limit of his abilities. He's in arrested development. Oh man. Jokes, 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 jokes.
Technology discovered.
Alright, let's find some other planets to colonize, because we need them. Like, we're getting a lot of friggin' duds around here. Continental world, c'est possible. Max influencer factions, leader of empire capacity. Genome mapping. Genome mapping gives us longer term stuff that we want. And it's a pretty short biome.
Anomaly detected.
Weird asteroid. Oh, damn it. More worlds that we can't colonize. Alright, so to keep this, there's a couple things we want to colonize. We want to grab this system here and this system down here. Like this block of systems over here. So let's build here, and that should cover most of that. Build frontier outpost. Although it is difficult to accept, all indications point to WX12109D being a coprolite, a piece of fossilized feces from some kind of massive life form. It appears to be almost 1 billion years old, and much of the fossil's original organic composition has been replaced by mineral deposits. Our scientists are baffled as to what kind of creature could have produced something like this. It's a big giant space poop. Tropical world, damn it!
Anomaly detected.
A weak signal pulsating in space. The signal originates the remains of an antenna-like structure. Exploratory probes were dispatched from the ISS Holt to survey the investigate the matter more closely. What Science Officer Jafab found was a cavernous vault that, while easily pried open, was evidently the last safe house and refuge of a long-dead alien race. Oh my god, this one! Yeah, we're not pulling down a lot of luck with the climates. This gives us more cause, though, to start terraforming planets. While reasonably technologically advanced, it seems they never reached for the stars and perished to some planet-wide natural disaster. The vault is immense, housing thousands upon thousands of black boxes. The ISS Holt the Magnificent has determined to be data storage devices. A special project has been prepared to decode their contents. I love this one. So this event chain, I'm reasonably sure, can result in you putting the sentiences of aliens inside robot bodies.
Survey complete.
We can build it. Alien Zoo! The Alien Zoo is building! +5 citizen, +5 pop happiness, plus 25% migration attraction. And then once we get those once we can build our cave cities, this planet's gonna be dope as fuck.
Survey complete.
You should have skill 3 or higher. Research project and system. We will procure these alien specimens for your museum of fanciness.
Anomaly detected.
A strange mountain formation on the southern hemisphere does not appear to be naturally formed.
Special project complete.
Here it is. The vault is a tomb for hopeful immortals. The huge blocks of ternary code found in database are neural images, digitized brain scans. Doubtlessly the aliens of Lithier 1 considered this to be their only shot at survival following whatever calamity befell their planet. Space Ghost in the Shell indeed. Lacking the means to resurrect themselves, they banked on the small hope that eventually someone else would. With our expertise in the field of robotics, we could upload the scans to robots. However, it seems uncertain whether robots are sophisticated enough to support a higher intelligence. Shit, I can't remember how this one goes. I don't think upload. It's been a while since I've gotten this one. I think if we upload the patterns, we can wait until we get droids and synthetics. Like, we can keep the special project around and wait till we get droids and synthetics to start uploading their consciousnesses. I think. Upload the neural patterns.
Technology discovered.
The robots are not sophisticated enough to support their intelligence, so they basically are, they come awake as only semi-sentient. I mean, it's appropriate. Assbot butts that is our brand here. My brand! God damn. We're just not pulling good planet combos these days. Are there even any Jeezy Pete's? We're not doing great on these planet outcomes. Oh. You can come back and do those special projects later. Massive skeletal remains of what was thought to be mountains are the massive skeletal remains of a single alien life form. The bones have been dated to 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Tamada could have supported life on that scale at any point in the planet's history. Science Officer Keb has prepared a special research project to further... Boom. Ah, the Friends of Liberty Council has formed. Good. Ooh. I'm gonna get subterranean colonization, because we're already partly researched on that.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Tundra World, son of a... We are really pulling duds.
Technology discovered. Technology discovered.
Oh, we are really... So, better nukes or custom robots? Yeah, the music beats are spicy. See, better nukes are good, but robots. Custom robots. Oh, and self-evolving logic. It's pretty good. Self-evolving logic. Because I want more research options. 88 months. Rough.
Anomaly detected.
Ah, damn it. Border friction. Border friction's killing us right here. Yeah, I'm gonna be glad in 2 weeks when a lot of border friction problems like this are gone. Let's just move to this system to see if we can find something.
An alien empire is making contact.
Oh, shit. Oh, hey, enigmatic observers. That's cool. So this is another feature of the game that I'm glad we encountered. So this is what is called a fallen empire. This is an empire that achieved spaceflight many millennia before us. Rose to its peak of majesty and power, a peak which we are so far beneath, and then collapsed. So these stagnant empires are basically the remains of far greater empires that ruled this section of space, however long ago. And eventually, if we were to play this out, which we're not going to have time to because only 2 weeks till Apocalypse, but eventually, so this game has what are called endgame crises, and there will always be one. There are several, including extra galactic alien invaders who are definitely not Tyranids, ancient alien gods waking up, all kinds of things. But one of the events is Apocalypse, what it'll do to our saves, indeed. But fallen empires are involved in one of the possible endgame crises, and if there are at least two fallen empires in your galaxy, what can happen is called the War in Heaven. The War in Heaven, or at least two of the fallen empires wake up and decide to go to war. Eternal war with each other. And you basically, as a presumably smaller, much weaker empire, have to decide which side you're going to come in on. Or you can get an ascension perk later called Fallen Empire, like Titan Slayer, which is you're basically setting out to kill fallen empires. But this, thank the gods, is a friendlier fallen empire. They're xenophiles. They like us. I like what they say about this. So the Solar Panor Ancients are enigmatic observers. This fallen empire dedicates itself to the study of younger races. They may offer tasks or demand tribute from lesser empires to achieve this end. Stagnant Ascendancy. Authority Imperial. Upon ruler death, a designated successor will become new ruler. Lethargic leadership. Unable to construct new ships. Empire in decline. Unable to conquer or colonize planets. A stagnant form of government based on ancient traditions and long-forgotten principles. The Slurpanor Ancients. Yildari! How delightful! We hadn't expected to counter you for a few more centuries yet. Personally, I thought you would wipe yourselves out long before leaving your gravity well, but I'm glad to be proven wrong. I love the casual, just like, whoa! I thought you guys were going to be dead centuries ago, but... We wish nothing but to be friends, Lerpanor. And to touch your alien butts. Oh, whew. Well, at least they're over there. Well, it's actually, they're not too bad to be close. We no longer see any reason to keep you locked out of our borders. Our borders are open to you again. Yeah, we've made butt friends with the, like, amphibian kind of looking marble dudes. They seem nice. They seem like they have nice butts to touch. Yeah, no planets here, so let's just survey these systems.
Survey complete.
Oh, god damn it, we met new aliens. Ah! Another tradition. Polytechnic education. And then we're going to adopt diplomacy. So that we could theoretically maybe recover from this. And get access to dynamic egomorphism, which is going to be a huge boost for us.
Anomaly detected. Construction complete.
Ah, Curator Alphas. From the independent space station of the Curator Alpha. Oh, shush, slow your roll. They appear to have successfully translated our language. Greetings, star travelers. We are the Curators, and definitely not at all based on the Foundation novels. Our ancient order was established eons ago by the various galactic powers in ascendancy at the time. We were dedicated towards the preservation of all knowledge in an effort to safeguard the galaxy from descending into yet another dark age of mass extinctions and barbarism. We failed. Few of us remain today, but we are no less committed to our sacred mission than our predecessors were. We are willing to share some of our knowledge with you, for a price. So they shall receive archaeological work.
Technology discovered.
These are unknown spacefaring.
Damn it. It's probably gonna be some alien empire that wants to touch butts and shares the same kind of planets we do, as they've scooped up all the good ones. Ugh. We're gonna need to engage in some serious terraforming. Yeah, the we failed is really, like, the matter-of-factness of it is so good. Oh.
Our presence in the galaxy has not gone by unnoticed.
The Hofir bonded merchants. I bring greetings from Chairman Dagutum. Oh, they're peaceful. Spiritualist. They're peaceful spiritualist trade league. Are they trying to sell me Bibles? Trying to sell me space Bibles? I bring greetings from Chairman Dagutum, the undisputed ruler of the Hulfiar bonded merchants. Respect our borders and keep out of our affairs, and perhaps our mighty fleets will refrain from visiting you. Well, okay. Don't be that way. Fellow star explorers, we salute you.
Construction complete.
Colossal impact crater. Habitability. Yes, please. Plus 5% habitability. We desperately need that. 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. 20%. 20%. 20%, 20%, 20%, 20%. Okay, so what kind of planets do you live on? Savannah worlds, of course. Of course you do. Or arid worlds. Yeah. Okay, great. Eat my ass. Well, let's be friends with them. And touch their butts. Oh, wow, superior. Oh, it's just because fleet power. They just built more ships. They like us a lot. We are receiving you, Yildar. How can the Hullfair bonded merchants help you? Offer trade. Would you like to do a trade? Holy shit. They're still wary of us. Oh, wait. I know a way we can make these guys our friends. More. Guarantee independence. Oh, well, hang on. Let's see, how can we make these factions happier? So we can start guaranteeing people's independence. Maybe we don't have free movement. No migration controls. Set rights. No migration controls. I think this one of these guys glitched. Oh, they want access to the core worlds. Hang on. I might not have done that. Species. Set default rights. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's... No, this is the Liberty Council. This is the Liberty Council. They should be jazzed. I think that's a bug. Hang on. Factions. Yeah, they should be all up in our shit. Oh, wait, we might have forced resettlement. Hang on. Yeah, we prohibit forced resettlement. Yes. There we go. Boom. Where do we place this to piss off our neighbors the fewest? Build frontier outpost. Five, six. Oh, so they snapped up all the good shit in our system. Wow. Our starship. Show him his treasure. Build them subterranean cities. Yeah, we're so close to our first Ascension
Survey
perk,
complete.
which I'm pretty sure is going to be World Shapers if we can get it.
Construction complete. Survey complete.
Ooh. The study of pulsars seems to be an endless source of insights for our scientists, but rarely exhibit any signs of overtly dangerous phenomenon. This makes recent reports on Weirthok all the more concerning. An initial scan reveals that the pulsar, in addition to its regular electromagnetic beams, is emitting a separate beam at a limited wavelength, which is only visible in the same system at shorter and shorter intervals. According to initial calculations, the interval between these pulses will reach zero in approximately 40 years. What occurs then is open to speculation, but a lack of explanations for the pulse has instilled an almost superstitious fear in those who've studied it. Uh-oh.
Anomaly detected.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna probably call it here. So, yeah, we're a goodly bit over time. So, good night to you, Jelly. And this has been The Play's the Thing. I hope we've caught your consciences today. And if you've enjoyed spending some time with your boy, please like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. So if you like us, we've got a YouTube and a Facebook and a Twitter account. The links to which are all in my pants down in the doobly-doo. And This has been The Plays the Thing. I hope we got your consciences today. And goodbye!